I stared at my phone screen, reading the message for the fifth time. Hey, Dad. Just wanted to let you know the guest list is finalized and we had to make some tough cuts. Hope you understand. Love you, Sarah. Tough cuts. Tough cuts. I wasn't some distant relative. I wasn't an old college friend they hadn't seen in years. I was her father, the man who raised her, paid for her college education, helped her through every crisis, every heartbreak, every moment of self-doubt. And my daughter, my own daughter, had just cut me out like an afterthought. I sat there in my home office, a slow wave of disbelief spreading through my chest. This had to be a mistake. It had to be. I picked up the phone and called my wife, Linda. She answered on the second ring, her voice deliberately casual. Hey, honey, what's up? I didn't bother with small talk. I just got a text from Sarah. She says the guest list is finalized, and I'm not on it. There was a pause, just long enough to confirm what I'd already suspected. My wife knew about this. Oh, Robert. Linda sighed, using that tone she always used when she wanted to make me feel like I was being unreasonable. It's just a wedding. Don't make this into a big deal. Just a wedding. I felt something hot and sharp coil in my stomach. Are you serious? I asked, my voice unnaturally calm. Linda, I'm her father. How am I not invited to my own daughter's wedding? She made a sking sound, as if I were a child throwing a tantrum. It's not personal, Robert. They had to keep the guest list small. Sarah and David are paying for most of it themselves, and venues are expensive. Linda, I interrupted, I just saw Sarah's Instagram. She's invited 150 people. Silence. Then a forced laugh. Well, you know how these things are. Wedding planning is complicated. Maybe they just assumed you wouldn't mind sitting this one out. Wouldn't mind? The words fell like a punch to the gut. Linda, I've been there for Sarah through everything. When she lost her job 2 years ago, who covered her rent for 3 months. When she had that medical emergency, who paid the hospital bills her insurance didn't cover. When she needed a car, who co-signed the loan. And now I'm not good enough to be there on her wedding day? Oh, stop being so dramatic, Linda said with an exasperated sigh. It's just one day, Robert. You're overreacting. And there it was. That word, overreacting. The same word my wife had used for 28 years every time I dared to express hurt or frustration about how our daughter treated me. I laughed, short and humorless. I could already see how this would play out. I'd argue. Linda would brush me off. Sarah would offer some half-hearted apology later, and I'd be expected to forgive and forget, because that's what I'd always done. Be the understanding one. Be the bigger person. Let it slide. Not this time. Something inside me snapped. Linda, I said quietly, did you know about this? Another pause. We talked about it. Yes. Sarah was worried you might react badly, so she asked me to help smooth things over. I closed my eyes, trying to process what I was hearing. My wife, my partner of 30 years, had conspired with our daughter to exclude me from one of the most important days of her life. And neither of them had the decency to tell me to my face. You know what, Linda, I said, my voice eerily calm. If I'm not important enough to be at Sarah's wedding, then I'm not important enough to sit around feeling sorry for myself either. What's that supposed to mean? She asked, a note of concern creeping into her voice. It means I'm going on vacation. You and Sarah can have your perfect little wedding without me. I'll be somewhere much better. Robert, don't be ridiculous, Linda started, but I hung up before she could finish. I grabbed my laptop and opened a travel website. If my wife and daughter could make plans without me, then I could damn well make plans without them. It took less than an hour. I booked an all-inclusive stay at a 5-star resort in the Bahamas, a suite with an ocean view, spa treatments, and access to a private beach. I'd always told myself that kind of trip was too expensive, too indulgent. Not anymore. I wasn't just going on vacation. I was making a statement. I texted my assistant at work to let her know I'd be out of the office for the next 10 days. I'd built my accounting firm from the ground up over the past 25 years. I'd earned this time off. Then I did something I'd never done before. I left without telling my wife exactly where I was going. When the wedding weekend arrived, I was already on a plane, sipping champagne in first class. I pulled out my phone and posted a photo to Facebook, my legs stretched out, drink in hand, with a simple caption. Guess I got cut from the guest list, but I think I'll survive. The reaction started immediately. My brother commented, "Good for you, Rob. Should have done this years ago." A few of my college friends sent laughing emojis, but the best reaction came within minutes. My phone lit up with 3 texts from Linda. "Linda, where are you? Linda, are you seriously missing Sarah's wedding over this? Linda, you're being incredibly petty right now." Petty? I wasn't even getting started. I responded with a photo of the beach I just landed near. White sand, crystal blue water, postcard perfect. Then I turned off my phone. I wasn't about to let them guilt trip me. Not this time. For the first time in years, I wasn't putting my family first. I was putting myself first. And it felt incredible. The resort was everything I'd hoped for and more. The lobby had enormous palm trees growing inside, a massive open-air design that led in the ocean breeze, and the kind of service we were greeted with a cocktail before you even checked in. My suite was unreal. Floor-to-ceiling windows, a private balcony overlooking the ocean, and the most comfortable king-size bed I'd ever seen. I dropped my bags, walked out on the balcony, and just breathed it all in. Then, just to twist the knife a little more, I took a photo of the view and posted it with this caption. When one door closes, another opens, preferably to a beachside suite with unlimited margaritas. I knew it would make its way back to my family. And honestly, I hoped it did. For once, they could know what it felt like to be left out. The first full day was absolutely perfect. I started the morning with room service, fluffy pancakes, fresh fruit, and coffee so good it ruined every cup I'd ever had before. Then I spent the entire day doing exactly what I wanted. No obligations, no family drama, just me, the ocean, and a schedule entirely devoted to my own enjoyment. By afternoon, I was lounging on a sunbed by the infinity pool, cocktail in hand, watching the waves roll in. Every so often I'd check my phone. Not to check it with my family, but to look at the growing number of reactions to my vacation posts. The comments were gold. My nephew Jake, Uncle Rob, where even are you right now? My college buddy Steve, dude, living your best life. An old coworker, okay, now you're just showing off. Then I got a notification that made me smirk. Sarah's seen your post. Oh! Now she was paying attention. I could just picture her reaction. Sitting in some bridal suite somewhere, sipping cheap champagne and scrolling through Facebook, only to see me living my best life while she's stressed about her wedding. Good. I leaned back, took another sip of my drink, and thought, enjoy your special day, sweetheart. Hope it's everything you wanted. But as the sun started to set, something strange happened. My phone started blowing up. At first I ignored it, figuring it was just more people reacting to my photos. But then I saw the names. Linda, Sarah, Jake, even Linda's sister Lisa. Call after call. Texts coming in rapid fire. I raised an eyebrow and finally opened my phone. The first text I saw was from Linda. Linda, call me. It's an emergency. That text from Linda, it's an emergency, was about to reveal the biggest karmic justice I'd ever witnessed. But before I tell you what catastrophe unfolded at Sarah's perfect wedding, do me a favor. If you're invested in this story and want to see more tales of family betrayal and sweet justice, smash that subscribe button and leave a like. What happened next is something you won't want to miss. An emergency? At the wedding? I sighed, debating whether I really cared. Then Jake sent another message. Jake, dude, you're not going to believe what just happened. Oh, now I was curious. I sat up and scrolled through the text, and within seconds, I understood that the universe had just given me the best wedding gift I could have ever hoped for. Because apparently, Sarah's perfect wedding had gone up in flames. I scrolled the flood of messages, my smirk growing with each one. Jake, bro, you dodged a bullet. Linda, call me right now. This is a family crisis. Sarah, please, Dad. Where are you? I need you. I stretched out of my lounge chair, took another sip of my cocktail, and kept scrolling. Then I found a message that made me laugh out loud. From Melissa, my niece who'd always been the reasonable one in the family. Melissa, Uncle Rob, the groom just walked out. I nearly spit out my drink. The groom walked out? Oh, this was better than I could have imagined. Curiosity got the better of me, so I finally texted Jake back. Me? What do you mean you walked out? Jake, dude, during the reception. Full meltdown. He and Sarah got into some huge fight, and he just walked out. Straight up left the venue. Jake? Oh, and then Aunt Lisa and your wife got into a screaming match about whose fault it was. Grandma started crying. The venue cut off the bar early. It's a disaster. I leaned back, grinning. My daughter had cut me from the wedding, thinking she didn't need me there. And now, suddenly, I was the first person they all turned to. I could already hear Linda's voice in my head. You need to come fix this. Sarah's devastated. You're her father. Yeah, no thanks. I opened the next message. It was from Sarah herself. Sarah, Dad, please answer your phone. I need you. Oh, now it was important. Now I mattered. I took a deep breath and typed out a single response. Me. Sorry, I'm a little busy enjoying my overreaction. Hope the wedding was fun. Then I blocked her number. I blocked Linda. I blocked Jake too, just in case he got roped into their guilt trip operation. Then I switched my phone to do not disturb mode, waved over the bartender, and ordered another drink. Because while my family was spiraling back home, I was in paradise. And for once, I wasn't bothered by it at all. The next morning, I woke to the sound of waves crashing on the shore. The smell of salt and tropical flowers drifted through my open balcony doors. I stretched, yawned, and for one blissful moment, I almost forgot about the chaos back home. Almost. Then I checked my phone. Even though I blocked most of my family, I still had over 20 missed calls from random numbers. They were trying everything to reach me. Several voicemails had slipped through. Against my better judgment, I pressed play on the first one. Linda's voice frantic. I don't know what you think you're doing, Robert, but this is not the time for one of your tantrums. Your daughter is devastated, and we need you here. This family needs to stick together right now. I rolled my eyes and deleted it. Next voicemail. Sarah, crying. Dad, I don't understand why you're doing this. You're my father. I need you. Please just call me back. Click. Deleted. The next one made me laugh. Jake, whispering like he was hiding in a closet. Uncle Rob, heads up, Aunt Linda and Aunt Lisa are planning to show up at your house when you get back. Also, Grandma keeps saying the wedding was cursed because you weren't there. It's kind of hilarious. Now that was a voicemail I saved. I tossed my phone on the bed and walked out onto the balcony. The sun was just starting to rise, painting the ocean in shades of gold and pink. I took a deep breath, letting the warmth of it sink in. Back home, my family was scrambling to do damage control. Meanwhile, I was here in a bathrobe, sipping espresso, enjoying the best decision I'd ever made. And the best part? They were finally feeling what I'd felt when they cut me out. Unwanted, forgotten, left behind. It was almost poetic, really. But I wasn't done yet. I grabbed my phone, snapped a photo of my breakfast spread, fluffy pancakes, fresh fruit, and a mimosa so bright I could blind someone, and posted it with this caption. Starting my day stress-free. Hope everyone back home is doing okay. Then just for fun, I scrolled through my blocked messages, grinned at all the missed calls, and ordered another mimosa. I had no intention of calling them back. They could clean up their own mess. I was on vacation. By midday, I was lounging under a private cabana, sipping a tropical drink with a little umbrella in it, when my phone buzzed again. This time the message was from Melissa. Melissa, okay, I know you're mad, and honestly you have every right to be, but you have to hear what happened after the wedding. Call me. You're going to love this. I raised an eyebrow. Melissa had always been the only family member with any common sense. If she said I needed to hear something, it was probably worth my time. So against my better judgment, I called her. She answered on the first ring. Oh my God, you're actually answering, she said, barely containing her laughter. Okay, are you sitting down? I looked around at my shaded cabana, the endless ocean in front of me, the ice-cold drink in my hand. Yeah, I think I'm in a good spot for whatever this is. Melissa let out a breathless laugh. Okay. So after the groom walked out, Sarah had a complete meltdown. And I don't mean a few tears. I mean screaming, throwing things, full bridezilla breakdown in front of everyone. I smirked. Sounds about right. Melissa continued, her voice full of glee. So everyone was trying to calm her down, right? And then Aunt Linda overheard Aunt Lisa say that maybe the whole disaster could have been avoided if you'd been there. I blinked. Wait, what? Melissa giggled. Yeah, she was saying that you've always been the one who fixes things when Sarah spirals. That if you'd been there, you would have talked sense into the groom or handled everything the way you always do. I burst out laughing. So let me get this straight. The same family that excluded me from the wedding is now blaming me for not being there to save it? Oh, it gets better, Melissa said. Aunt Linda told Lisa she was being ridiculous, and then they started fighting. Loudly. Then Grandma got involved, saying Sarah brought this on herself because she disrespected the universe by not inviting her own father. I almost choked on my drink. Melissa was cackling now. Grandma literally lectured Sarah in front of everyone, saying if you treated your family better, you wouldn't be standing alone in your wedding dress right now. I leaned back, grinning. Wow, that's beautiful. Oh! And then Melissa said, Aunt Linda tried calling the groom's family to fix things. His mother just laughed and said this is your problem now. I had to set down my drink before I spilled it from laughing so hard. So I said, catching my breath, where does that leave Sarah? Melissa sighed, still laughing a little, still crying, still blaming everyone but herself. Last I heard, she was trying to salvage the wedding with some kind of backup plan. But let's be honest, she's not recovering from this. I shook my head, smiling. You know what the best part is? What? I took a slow sip of my drink. I don't care. Melissa howled with laughter. Honestly, Uncle Rob, I don't blame you. I just thought you'd appreciate knowing karma did its thing. Oh, I love knowing that, I said, smirking. Thanks for the update, Melissa. No problem. She said, enjoy your trip. And for the record, you did the right thing. I hung up, feeling more satisfied than I had in years. They wanted a wedding without me. And now, because of their own selfishness, they had a disaster instead. I picked up my drink, raised it toward the sky, and made a toast to the best decision I've ever made. Then I turned off my phone and settled back into my cabana, letting the ocean breeze wash away whatever guilt I might have had left. For the rest of the day, I didn't look at my phone. Instead, I booked a sunset cruise, let the warm breeze wash over me, and had a 5-star dinner by the water. While my family was still picking up the pieces of Sarah's wedding disaster, I was enjoying the best steak I'd ever had. At some point, a thought crossed my mind. Maybe I should feel bad for her. Then I remembered how she cut me out without a second thought, how my own wife had sided with her, how they both made me feel like I didn't matter. Yeah, no. I took a sip of my wine, snapped one last photo of the view, and posted it with a single caption, 0 regrets. Then, with a satisfied smile, I turned off my phone again. Let them stew. I was done being their backup plan. The following morning, I woke up feeling lighter than I had in years. No guilt, no tension, no last-minute family emergencies that somehow became my problem to solve. Just me, the sound of waves, and an entire day of nothing but relaxation ahead. I stretched, ordered room service, and out of curiosity, turned my phone back on. Big mistake. Within seconds, my notifications exploded. Linda, you need to stop acting like a child and call me. Sarah, I can't believe you're doing this to me. You're so selfish, Dad. Linda, this isn't funny, Robert. Sarah is heartbroken. Do you even care? Unknown number. Probably my sister-in-law. We need to fix this family before it's too late. I groaned and shook my head. It was almost impressive how quickly they went from ignoring me to expecting me to fix everything. Then one message caught my eye. Melissa, okay, I know you're ignoring everyone, but read this. Your wife is trying to organize a family meeting when you get back. Just a heads up. I almost laughed out loud. Oh, they thought I was coming back and just pretending nothing happened. They thought I'd show up, let them guilt trip me, and go right back to being the family doormat. Yeah, not happening. I quickly texted Melissa back. Me, thanks for the warning, but I won't be there. Melissa, wait, what do you mean? Me, I'm extending my trip. They want to cut me out? Fine. I'm cutting myself off completely. I could practically see her reaction through the screen, a mix of shock and amusement. A few seconds later she responded, Melissa, okay, that's honestly iconic. Tell me everything when you get back. Whenever that is LOL. I grinned, put down my phone, and opened my laptop. With a few clicks, my trip was officially extended. Another full week. No family. No drama. No family meetings. Just me and the ocean. They'd spent years taking me for granted. Now they could see what life was like without me. And the best part? There was nothing they could do about it. Before heading to the beach, I sent one final text message. Me to Linda and Sarah. Oh, now you want me around? Sorry, I'm too busy enjoying my overreaction. Have fun cleaning up your own mess. Then, for the last time, I blocked their numbers. I put my phone down, ordered another drink, and let the sun warm my face. No guilt, no tension, no regrets, just peace. And it was the best decision I'd ever made. Over the next few days, I completely disconnected. I took a cooking class at the resort. I went snorkeling. I got a massage that was so good, I nearly fell asleep on the table. Every single day, I did exactly what I wanted, when I wanted, with no one to answer to. It was paradise. Meanwhile, according to the occasional update from Melissa, things back home were falling apart. Sarah had apparently tried to reschedule the wedding, but David, the groom, had made it clear he needed space. Linda was beside herself, alternating between blaming me for abandoning the family and blaming Sarah for creating the mess in the first place. And my mother-in-law had gotten involved, taking Linda's side and calling me selfish and immature. I read Melissa's updates with mild interest but zero emotional investment. These were the same people who'd excluded me without a second thought. Now they were paying the price for their choices. On my second-to-last day at the resort, I was sitting at a beachside bar when my phone rang. It was an unknown number. Normally I wouldn't answer, but something made me pick up. Hello? Uncle Rob? It was Jake, my nephew. I sighed. Jake, I told you I'm not getting involved. I know, he said quickly. I'm not calling to guilt trip you or anything. I just want to give you a heads up. Your wife is planning to be at your house when you get back. She's got Aunt Lisa and your mother-in-law with her. They're planning an intervention. An intervention? I almost laughed. For what? For setting boundaries? Jake hesitated. They think you're having some kind of midlife crisis, that you're not thinking clearly. They want to sit you down and make you apologize to Sarah. I felt a cold anger settle in my chest. Let me get this straight. I get excluded from my own daughter's wedding. I take a vacation instead of sitting at home feeling sorry for myself. And now I'm the one who needs to apologize? Jake was quiet for a moment. For what it's worth, Uncle Rob, I think you did the right thing. Sarah and Aunt Linda treated you like crap. You don't owe them anything. Thanks, Jake. I appreciate that. So what do you do? He asked. I thought about it for a moment, then smiled. I'm going to take my time coming home. Maybe I'll add a few more days to this trip. Jake laughed. Good for you, man. They can wait. After I hung up with Jake, I sat there for a long moment, staring out at the ocean. Part of me, a very small part, felt bad. Sarah was my daughter. I'd raised her. I'd been there for every scraped knee, every bad grade, every heartbreak. But the bigger part of me, the part that had been taken for granted for nearly 3 decades, knew that going back and apologizing would only reset the cycle. I'd forgive them. They'd promised to do better. And within a few months, I'd be right back where I started, feeling invisible in my own family. No, I wasn't doing that anymore. I pulled out my phone and sent one more message to Melissa. Me. Tell Linda I'll be home when I'm ready. And when I do get home, I won't be apologizing for anything. Then I ordered one more drink, watched the sunset, and made a decision. When I got back, things were going to be different. I wasn't going to be the family's problem solver anymore. I wasn't going to drop everything every time Sarah had a crisis. And I definitely wasn't going to let Linda make me feel guilty for standing up for myself. For the first time in my life, I was putting myself first. And if my family couldn't handle that, then maybe they didn't deserve me in the first place. The next morning, I checked out of the resort feeling refreshed, recharged, and completely at peace with my decision. The flight home was smooth, and for the entire trip, I kept my phone off. No updates. No drama. Just me and my thoughts. When I finally landed and turned my phone back on, I had 63 missed calls and over 100 text messages. I didn't read any of them. Instead, I called an Uber, went straight home, and walked into my house like nothing had happened. Linda was in the living room, along with her sister Lisa and her mother Margaret. They all turned to look at me the second I walked in. "Robert," Linda said, standing up, "we need to talk." I set down my luggage and looked at the three of them calmly. "No," I said. "We don't." Linda blinked. "Excuse me?" "I'm not apologizing," I said firmly. "I'm not explaining myself. I'm not justifying my decision to go on vacation. You excluded me from my own daughter's wedding. You made me feel like I didn't matter. So I left, and I'd do it again." "But Robert," Margaret started, but I held up a hand. "With all due respect, Margaret, this doesn't concern you. This is between me, my wife, and my daughter." Linda's face flushed with anger. "You embarrassed us, Robert. You embarrassed Sarah. Everyone's been asking where you were, and we had to make excuses for you." I laughed, short and bitter. "You had to make excuses?" "Linda, you're the one who helped Sarah cut me from the guest list. Don't talk to me about embarrassment." "But she's your daughter," Lisa interjected. "She needed you, and you weren't there." "She didn't want me there," I shot back. "She made that very clear. And now that her wedding fell apart, suddenly I'm supposed to drop everything and fix it? No, I'm done being the family's backup plan." The room went silent. Linda stared at me, her mouth slightly open, as if she couldn't believe what she was hearing. "Robert," she said slowly, "if you don't apologize to Sarah, I don't know if we can move past this." I looked at my wife, the woman I've been married to for 30 years, and felt nothing but calm certainty. "Then maybe we don't move past it," I said quietly. Linda's eyes widened. "What are you saying?" "I'm saying that I'm done being treated like I don't matter. If you and Sarah can't respect me, then maybe we need to reevaluate this entire relationship." "You don't mean that," Linda whispered. "I think I do," I replied. Then I picked up my luggage, walked past all three of them, and went upstairs to the guest bedroom. I closed the door behind me, sat down on the bed, and for the first time in weeks, I felt completely, utterly free. Downstairs, I could hear muffled voices, probably Linda and her family trying to figure out what to do next. But I didn't care. For once, I wasn't worried about fixing things or making everyone else happy. I was worried about me, and that felt damn good. Over the next few days, Linda and I barely spoke. She stayed in our bedroom. I stayed in the guest room. Sarah tried calling a few times, but I let it go to voicemail. I wasn't ready to talk to her yet. Maybe I never would be. Jake checked in once to see how I was doing. "Uncle Rob," he texted, "just wanted to make sure you're okay." Me, I'm better than okay, Jake. For the first time in years, I'm putting myself first. "Jake, good for you, man." Seriously, a week after I got back, Linda finally came to the guest room. She knocked softly on the door. "Robert, can we talk?" I opened the door, but didn't invite her in. "What is it, Linda?" She looked tired, older somehow. "I've been thinking about everything you said, and I think maybe you're right. Maybe we haven't been fair to you." I waited, saying nothing. "I'm sorry," she said quietly. "I'm sorry for siding with Sarah. I'm sorry for making you feel like you didn't matter." I looked at my wife, searching her face for sincerity. "Do you really mean that?" I asked. "Or are you just saying it because you're scared I'll leave?" Linda's eyes filled with tears. "Both," she admitted. "I do mean it, but I'm also terrified, Robert. I don't want to lose you." I sighed, leaning against the doorframe. "Linda, I've spent 30 years putting this family first. I've sacrificed my time, my energy, and my self-respect to make sure everyone else was happy. And the moment I stood up for myself, you all turned on me." "I know," she whispered, "and that was wrong. So what now?" I asked. "Where do we go from here?" Linda wiped her eyes. "I don't know, but I want to fix this. I want us to fix this." I thought about it for a long moment. Then I nodded slowly. Okay, but things are going to be different from now on. I'm not going to be the family's problem solver anymore. I'm not going to drop everything every time Sarah has a crisis. And if you or Sarah ever exclude me from something important again, I'm gone. Do you understand? Linda nodded quickly. I understand. Good, I said. Then maybe we can try. But it's going to take time, Linda. A lot of time. She reached out and took my hand. I know, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes. For the first time in weeks, I felt a small flicker of hope. Maybe things could get better. Maybe Linda and I could rebuild what had been broken. But one thing was certain. I was never going back to being the man who let his family walk all over him. That version of me was gone for good. And honestly, I didn't miss him at all. A few days later, Sarah finally showed up at the house. I was in the garage working on an old bookshelf when she walked in. Dad, she said quietly. I didn't look up. Sarah, can we talk? I set down my tools and finally looked at her. She looked tired, her eyes red from crying. What do you want to talk about? I asked. I'm sorry, she said, her voice breaking. I'm so sorry, Dad. I was wrong to exclude you from my wedding. I was selfish and I hurt you and I'm so sorry. I crossed my arms, studying her. Why did you do it, Sarah? Why did you cut me out? She looked down at her hands. I don't know. David's family is really judgmental, and I guess I was worried about what they'd think. And Mom said you'd understand, that you'd be fine with it. So you threw me away because you were worried about appearances. I said flatly. Sarah flinched. When you put it like that, it sounds terrible. It was terrible, I said. You made me feel like I didn't matter, Sarah. Like 30 years of being your father meant nothing. I know, she whispered, and I don't know how to make it right. I sighed, feeling some of the anger drain out of me. Sarah, I love you, but I can't keep being the person everyone takes for granted. If we're going to move forward, things have to change. She nodded quickly. They will. I promise. We'll see, I said. Actions speak louder than words. Sarah, show me you mean it. She wiped her eyes and nodded. I will, Dad. I promise I will. After she left, I went back to working on the bookshelf. It wasn't perfect. My relationship with Sarah wasn't magically fixed. My marriage with Linda still had a long way to go. But for the first time in my life, I wasn't the one doing all the work. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so and hit the notification bell to stay updated with more shocking real-life stories happening around the world.